the old city of Jerusalem. Right behind me, we can see a gate. This is, here the entrance is from there. This is Jaffa Gate. Okay, now we just been to Tel Aviv and Jaffa. I want to ask you, why do we have a gate named Jaffa in the middle of Jerusalem? If you look on this road, this is Jaffa Road, and it leads all the way towards Jaffa. Okay, in Jaffa we have a street named Jerusalem Street and a gate named Jerusalem Gate. Why specifically Jaffa? Because we have a port in Jaffa, and up until 100 years ago, people, most of them pilgrims, wanted to come to this region, to this place. They came with boats to the Jaffa port, and through Jaffa they used to take carriage to Jerusalem. In Arabic, this gate's name is Bab el Khalil. Bab in Arabic is a gate, and El Khalil is a nickname to the friend of God. Okay, El Khalil is a friend. Who is this friend for the Islam, for the Arab nation? Who was the forefather of the Islam? Abraham. So Ismail, not the Islam, the Arab nation, Ismail started basically as the forefather of the Arab nation. Okay, not all the Arab people are Muslims. We have a lot of Arabs, Christians. Okay, but Abraham was the father of Ismail and Isaac. Okay, and Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and their wives are buried in a city named Hebron. Okay, it's in the West Bank. And if you go all the way straight this direction, you'll get to Hebron. Hebron in Arabic is El Khalil. Walls surrounding the entire old city. Now this is Jaffa Gate. We are right here. The old city of Jerusalem is divided to 4 different quarters. The Christian quarter, in the middle of it, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. The Armenian quarter, which is the smallest one. Who are the most famous Armenians in the world? Amazing. The Muslim quarter, which is the largest one, and the Jewish quarter. Now, the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall, is right over here. And this place here, this is the Temple Mount platform. Okay, right over here, we're gonna see it later on, there is the Golden Dome. Okay, the famous Golden Dome, the Dome of the Rock. And this is not a mosque. The mosque on the Temple Mount is here. This is Al-Aqsa Mosque. The translation for Al-Aqsa means on the edge or the far place. And as you can see, their mosque is on the edge of this platform. Why? The Muslim mosque is on the edge and not here in the middle. Do you know where they point when they pray? They point towards Mecca, and so Mecca is into this direction. Why is the Western Wall holy for us? For the Jewish people, right here, this spot is the holiest place on earth. The wall is just, I'm sorry, a pile of stones. Okay, it has significance because it is the closest wall to this place. Now, when the Jewish temple was exist in this place, the Jews had their holiest room or their holiest section in the temple. The temple was divided to different sections, and the holiest section was called Holy of Holies. This church has 200 families in Israel. Their biggest community is in India, okay, South India. They also claim that in this place they've had the Last Supper. Okay?
In here?
In here.
Really?
So what we're looking at, this is a Roman street. Okay? It's actually a Roman mall. It's called Cardo. Cardo were the main streets that went from north to south, okay, in the Roman cities, okay, in the ancient world. What was smart about the Romans that they built their cities in a way of grids, okay. Nowadays our modern cities were built like the same way they're built because of the Romans. This is only part of a bigger mosaic. This mosaic called the Medba map. This part of the mosaic is Jerusalem. How do we know that? Because this part was in the middle of the giant mosaic, and it's also written here in old Greece, Holy Jerusalem. Now, if this is Jerusalem, so we can see very clearly that they have some kind of walls surrounding the entire city. What else can we see? We can see a huge, like a main street. Okay, this is the Cardo. This is the same street that we're standing on right now. I forgot to tell you that this mosaic was created in the 6th century. Okay, 6th century, it's like 500 something. I'm going to take you to a private rooftop here. Side of the wall. The wall here is divided to men and women, okay? Women on the right, men on the left. Unfortunately, we can see with our eyes that the man has more space. It's not okay, but this is how it is.
Incredible. Started crying. Very emotional this day on this trip, but that's amazing.
big moment for those who want a bar bat b'nai mitzvot. It's basically when somebody who traditionally turns 12 or 13, 12 for a girl, 13 for a boy. But if you haven't had one, this is the perfect time to do it. It's basically when somebody takes upon the laws of Judaism and makes it a part of their life. So this is for everybody who wants to use this birthright trip as an opportunity to go forward with their Jewish journey.
My birthday's in September, so the Torah portion that was mine was Reshit chapter 1, so the very beginning, and I didn't hold it that, like, I didn't think it was that great. I didn't think I could connect to it that much, but I think that this trip has helped me see that it really does, make sense if you think about the beginning, learning all the knowledge, the beginning of the creation.
I never had a bat mitzvah, but I'm turning 27 at the end of this month, and I'm in Israel, and it's been a lifelong dream for me to be here. I'm so happy. So when we were in the park yesterday, I got off the bus and I was like, I honestly do not want to do any of this right now, but watching all of your energy and all of your spirit really hyped me up. And then the prayer about thanking God for being here in this moment was like, I was like, don't look at me, I'm gonna cry.
I asked Leah and Ziggy for help because the Torah portion for this week, I didn't want to use my birthday or anything. It's called and I'm gonna butcher this Hebrew, I'm sorry y'all, Matat Masai. Basically, the explanation that I was given for this portion of the Torah was Moses explaining the history of the Jews. Which I found really fitting because I came on this trip with no knowledge whatsoever about anything Jewish, basically. I knew I was Jewish, I knew what my grandma had told me before she passed away, and I think it's really fitting that that was what I would have read, or what I could read if I could read the Torah.
I've never been really religious at all. I always pride myself in my atheism. Growing up going through an Episcopal school as an atheist Jew boy solidified non-belief as a central part of my identity, an identity I found to be inconsistent with Judaism. I talked about this once before here, but because of all this I came to resent my Jewish heritage. But being here in Israel has clarified some of that. I'm Jewish whether I want to be or not, whether I'm aware of it or not, and I'm participating in Jewish culture as well.
Sometimes we look at places and don't always see what's before us, but also what memories we shared in that very space. I wanted to travel to Israel for so long, for as long as I could remember. It would be a way for me to connect with myself, to heal, and to grow inside communities vastly different from my own. Birthright gave me that opportunity to challenge what I was used to, but also to utilize those challenges in order to mold myself with the changes that came.
I did have a bat mitzvah. I read from the Torah. I grew up Jewish, but I grew up in New Hampshire, and no one else is Jewish.
I've always been like an observer, and I'm not usually I don't like being center of attention, and I don't always fit in, or I do, but I don't choose to join things because I just watch from afar. And I felt like I was that way with my Judaism too, and so being here is just really special because I can share that with all of you. And well, I didn't think I would cry this much.
David and I, and David, and all of us at Hillel and Birthright want to present certificates of your bar and bat mitzvahs, and just like in recognizing what today is. So David and I signed as witnesses, although all of us are here to attest that this happened. And if you mentioned like a specific Torah portion or something that like is very important to you, like then we wrote that in as your Torah portion. It has the date.
Mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, siman Rabbi Melech Yisrael, hi v'kayam. Rabbi Melech Yisrael, hi v'kayam. Rabbi Melech Yisrael, hi v'kayam. Rabbi Melech Yisrael, hi v'kayam.
This trip really especially when I went to the wall, it's just so interesting seeing how like dedicated people like they are at the wall, and like people really do care. I think it's also, it just really opened my eyes up to like the religion, and it's just very cool. I think I'm gonna start practicing my religion more, even though I don't really have anything in Nebraska. But yeah, that's it.